Hello students, welcome to my channel Dr. Irfana Samdani. Today I am going to take the topic on theory of demand, chapter 2. This lecture contains our meaning of demand, determinants of demand and the law of demand. Before moving on the meaning of demand, we will try to understand the utility. What is utility? Utility is the want, satisfying power of a commodity. Whenever you consume a commodity, you derive a sort of satisfaction from the consumption of a commodity, and that consumption is called utility. Therefore, the satisfaction derived from the consumption of a commodity is utility. Now, utility is subjective by nature. Why it is subjective in nature? Let us take two examples. First, we will take two people where one person likes chocolate and other person does not like chocolate. The person who likes chocolate has been offered chocolate. The utility arrived from the chocolate of consumption will be high for him, and the person who does not like chocolate, the consuming that chocolate consumption, the satisfaction drive or utility drive from the chocolate will be less. Now let us take the example of the same commodity, say Cadbury Dairy Milk. The first bite, the consumption of the chocolate, the utility or satisfaction of the first bite will be very high. After that, the consumption or the satisfaction or the utility will go on reducing for the fourth, fifth bite and sixth bite, or the last bite will be low comparing to the utility of the first bite of the consumption of chocolate. Whenever the utility or satisfaction from a commodity you derive is high, then the desire to have that commodity will be high, because the satisfaction derived from that commodity or utility of that commodity is high. That is why the desire to have that commodity will be high. One thing you need to keep in mind, that the demand for the commodity is not equal to the desire of that commodity. Just because desire or want for a commodity will not turn into demand, in order to convert the desire into demand, certain conditions need to be fulfilled. First will be availability of resources. We should have purchasing power to buy the commodity, means you should have enough money to buy that commodity you desire. Ready to spend the resources, this means you are ready to spend the money in order to obtain a particular commodity you want or desire. Availability of the commodity that you want to purchase, that is the commodity you want to buy, is available in the market. Here I listed the important characteristics in the definition of demand. Definition says that total quantity of commodity that you buy is willing to buy with the able to purchase that commodity at a given price during a particular time period. These are the important characteristics of definition of demand. That is total amount of commodity that you want to buy. Willingness to buy means the consumer have the desire to purchase the commodity, means someone is not forcing the consumer to buy the commodity. He is purchasing it with his own will. Next comes ability to purchase the commodity, means have the enough money to purchase the commodity, and he is ready to spend that money at a given price, means price which is quoted in the market given, and you are willing to buy that commodity at a given price or market quoted price and during the particular time period, that is within a week or a month. Next we will discuss the determinants of demand. The demand function expresses the functional relationship between the demand and its determinants. That is, it tells you how demand is depend on determinants of demand. Now the demand functions here says that demand for a commodity N is depend on the price of the commodity N and the price of the related goods, income of the consumer, taste and preference of the consumer. Now there are two kinds of related goods, that is substitutes and complementary. First we'll discuss substitute goods. As the name suggests, when two goods can be used in place of each other, they can be substituted. For example, Coke and Pepsi. Suppose a person is indifferent between consuming Coke and Pepsi, means rather the consumer derive the same satisfaction for both the commodity Coke and Pepsi. When there is increase in the demand of Coke, then the price of Pepsi kept constant and demand of Pepsi will increase because the Pepsi price is less than the Coke. And similarly, in the case of complementary goods, these goods are goods which compete with each other. They are competing or complementing each other. In case of complementary goods, utility or satisfaction derived from one good becomes zero in the absence of other good. For example, ball pen and refill. A ball pen body without refill is no use, and the refill without ball pen will be no use. Therefore, if the price of the refill increases, the demand for ball pen will decrease. So the utility of ball pen becomes zero in the absence of refill, and the utility of refill becomes zero in the absence of ball pen. Now, let us move to the other factor of the demand, that is taste and preference of consumer. If the consumer develop the positive taste for the commodity, let us say tea, then the demand for the tea will increase. And suppose if the consumer develop a negative taste or a negative preference for the coffee, then the demand for the coffee will decrease. Now let us move to the income of the consumer. This also are determinants of demand. Now there are three goods come in this, but I will not go much in detail. But in order to explain the relationship between income and the demand, I will segregate the types of goods and let you know demand for different types of goods are related to income of consumer. In this, first comes normal goods. In this case, if there is an increase in price of goods, the demand for goods also increases. For example, if the income of the consumer increases, then the demand for the milk will increase. For example, milk. If the income of the consumer increases, then the demand for the milk will increase. That is, if we used to consume milk less, then once income increases, then we'll increase the consumption of milk. In the case of inferior commodities, with the increase in income of the demand for the goods decreases. The inferiority is related to the affordability of the goods, but not the quality of the goods. For example, there are two commodities in the market, that is wheat and jawar. Person who are consuming jawar, now with the increase in income, the demand income, he want to purchase wheat. The demand for the jawar will, with this the demand for the jawar will fall, which cannot afford. Wheat is the commodity which he cannot afford before, so he will start purchasing wheat and the demand for the jawar will fall down. So the movement from the jawar to wheat with the increased income decreases the demand for jawar. Next comes giffen goods, are the special kind of inferior goods. In case of giffen goods, if the price increases, the demand for the goods also increases. Now we will discuss the law of demand. Now question arises, what is law of demand? The law of demand states, the other factors being the same, if the price of a commodity increases, the demand for that commodity contracts, and with the fall in the price of a commodity, the demand for the commodity expands. In other words, we can say price and demand are inversely related to each other. Now question before us is what these other things are. Other things being the same refers to the assumption of demand. It has been assumed that there is no change in the price of related good, and no change in the income of the consumer, and no change in the taste and preference of the consumer. Now you see, the law of demand states that if the price of a particular commodity rises, then the demand for a particular commodity falls down. It means that if the price of a commodity rises, undoubtedly it can be afforded by some customers, and if it becomes unaffordable for customers, then they will demand less. When they demand less, obviously the quantity demand will fall. In the same way, if the price will fall, the quantity demand will rise. Due to fall in price, it will become affordable for many customers, and if they will be able to afford it, they will increase its demand, and the demand will rise. Ultimately, the quantity demand will rise. So, it is very simple reason I am providing right now. Later on, we'll discuss in detail. At this moment, you need to remember that in law of demand, if price rises, the demand falls down, and if price decreases, the demand increase. Demand for goods will increase. There is inverse relationship between the price and quantity demand. Here, there is a point. Other factors remain constant. Now, what is this other factors remain constant? You need to understand carefully. It means all factors other than price that can affect the demand for commodity. First of all, you need to know that whenever you are writing demand, you need to remember that you have to write demand for, never write demand of, right? Other factor means other than price which affect demand. Let's take an example. Income. See, if the income of a consumer will rise, consumer will be able to afford the better quality of goods, right? And if they will be able to afford the better quality of goods, then the demand for goods will rise. Therefore, in India, if the per capita income rise, people may be able to afford more iPhones or smartphones of Samsung and so many other companies. And there, in this case, the demand of smartphones will rise. So, income is one of the criteria. In other words, other factors which affect the demand for a commodity. The main thing in the law of demand is that when the price will rise, the quantity will fall only in one condition, when the other factors are remain constant. Here, considering income as other factor, what I want to say, if the price rise, quantity demand will fall. The income remain constant. In case the income remain constant, as the income is other factor, why so? When other factor remain constant, then law of demand operates. Let us take an example. Suppose we plan to buy a smartphone. It might cost us around 80,000. When you go to the showroom and ask for the smartphone, that was rupees 80,000. Now you went to purchase that iPhone. When you go to the showroom and ask the shopkeeper, he says that iPhone will cost you rupees 1 lakh. Why? Due to increase in tax, it will cost you 1 lakh. So now what you will do, whether you buy the iPhone or not? Not purchase, because the price has increased. You will not buy or purchase. You will come back to home. So in this way, due to increase in price, the quantity demand will fall down. Now take another example. Now you went to the showroom, you refuse to purchase the iPhone, and you are coming back to home. You are on the way. You receive a call from your boss. He said your salary has been increased from the back date, that is June, and your salary has been increased from January, and you will receive the arrear for that. From January to June, approximately you will receive the arrear of 50,000. This is what the boss communicate with you on call. So this means your income has increased, right? So what you will do? You are on the way, you are going back to your home. On call, your boss told that your salary increases and you are going to receive 50,000. Obviously, you will go back and purchase the iPhone or smartphone. In first case, you went to the showroom, you didn't buy the smartphone because price increases but your income was constant. Case 1, price increases but income was constant, you refused to purchase. But in case 2, when you went back and purchased the iPhone or smartphone because your income increases. In case 2, the price increases, with that your income also increases. So you don't have any problem, so you decided to purchase. Due to rise in price, here you refuse to buy, where in the case of law of demand is operational. But in case 2, the law of demand is not operational, because with the increase in the price, the income also increases and you will buy it. There will be no problem at all in affordability, in the sense of affordability. So in order to law of demand to get operational, first thing is that you need to understand other factors should remain constant. If other factors are not constant, they are also changing, there might be law of demand will not operating. Very simple example I gave at this point of time. Later on we will discuss other factors in detail. So what exactly the law of demand is? When the price of a commodity rises, the quantity of demand will fall and vice versa, provide other factors remain constant. Now let us understand with the help of table. Price of the price and quantity demand. Price will be 5, 10, 15. Suppose the price rupees 5. The demand for the good is 100. When the price increases from 5 to 10, the demand will fall, say 80. Further increase in price to 15, the demand will further fall to 60. This table is clearly indicating inverse relationship between price and quantity demand as per the law of demand. Now considering this, we can draw a diagram for demand curve also. On x-axis, we'll take non-monetary item, that is quantity demand, and on y-axis, we'll take the monetary item, that is price. So in price 5, 10, 15, 20, and quantity demand 40, 60, 80, 100. I have to take on x-axis. Now when the price is rupees 5, quantity demand is 100. When the price increased to rupees 10, quantity demand is 80. When the price further increased to rupees 15, the quantity demand is 60. So by joining these 3 points, we can draw a demand curve. This will be a straight line. It will be looking like a zigzag, but actually it will be a straight line. So you can see the demand curve will be sloping downwards from left to right. So whenever there is an inverse relationship, means one variable will be rising and other variable will be falling, or one variable is falling and other variable is increasing, then you will know always there will be a downward sloping curve. So how the demand curve will look like? Y and X. Y axis price and x-axis quantity. When the price will fall from P1 to P, the quantity demand will increase from Q1 to Q. When the price will fall from P1 to P2, the quantity demand increases from Q1 to Q2 to Q2. So this exactly the law of demand. Hope you understand the law of demand. If you have any confusion, doubt, you can comment below or contact me on my WhatsApp number 6303481790 or email me isamdani786@gmail.com. If you are unable to find my video, you can watch my video on my blog isamdani786.blogspot.com. Next video we will discuss the factor affecting demand: change in quantity of demand, extension in demand, contraction in demand, increase and decrease in demand. Thanks for watching my lecture. If you like my video, please click on like and do not forget to subscribe my channel to get the information of upcoming video. The very simple